Live from the nation's capital, Gaborone, this is BTV News at 3. I'm Mulibile Samoka. Sentle Moyeng is interpreting in sign language. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Botswana's justice system rated #1 in Africa. Botswana-China diplomatic relations continue to be stronger. Local motorcycle rider Rose Branch honored with a motorcade parade around Gaborone. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now, in our first story, 2023 World Justice Report says Botswana's justice system is rated #1 across Africa. The Chief Justice of the High Court of Botswana, Mr. Terence Ranwani, says this is a milestone achievement as the judicial service over the years has made significant strides to make the justice system accessible to all. Ranwani said this in an interview with BTV News ahead of the 2024 Open of the Legal Year. With more.
With a few days ahead of the official opening of the legal year, the Administration of Justice celebrates a great milestone as Botswana's judicial system was rated #1 in Africa by the World Justice Report. The lingering question remains on what priority areas made Botswana's judicial system outstanding from the rest of Africa.
They have comparators. They are comparing us with other countries, how much time it takes to get claim to pursue a claim, how much it takes to deal with a criminal case to its conclusion, its logical conclusion. So they were looking at some of these things, and also they were looking at access to justice. As you know, we have tried so much to make sure that courts are all over the place, and even simplified procedures so that every Botswana can have access to justice.
As Botswana continues to experience an increase in child abuse cases, the Administration of Justice is making efforts in improving the courts to be more child-friendly.
The law is already there, but the courts will need to be maybe reshaped a bit or introduce some infrastructure, small changes in terms of maybe demarcating the court to make space for a child to give evidence without having to stare at the molester, her or his molester. We are also thinking of getting resources to put in place video conferencing facilities to ensure that children will be giving evidence in a conducive environment where they won't feel intimidated or threatened.
Chief Justice Ranwani said they are on a strategic plan to improve the IT infrastructure and digitizing most of their services. Betsui Mpulubusi, BTV News, Gaborone.
Ambassador of China to Botswana, Mr. Wen Jianfeng, says the two nations have enjoyed diplomatic relations since 1975, as demonstrated by the high practical cooperation between the two. He said that last year alone, about 300 scholarships were offered by China to Botswana to further their studies in that country. He said this at the Chinese Spring Festival yesterday. Terry Makweng with more.
The annual Chinese Spring Festival, also known as the Chinese Lunar New Year, is a traditional festival in the Chinese culture, and it is a cultural event that symbolizes hope, and as such, the Chinese diaspora in Botswana found it necessary to celebrate this day. With Botswana and China's diplomatic relations dating back to 1975, the Chinese ambassador detailed some of the projects in Botswana that China has had a role in contributing towards, and those that are in the pipeline.
Practical cooperation between our two countries is also blooming with fruitful results. Last year, we have offered nearly 300 government scholarship and MOFCAM scholarships for Botswana candidates to have further studies in China. China handed over the multi-satellite integrated meteorological transportable ground application system to Botswana in support of Botswana's climate change efforts. The Rama Eba Primary School in Kajungula, built with China's assistance, will be put in use in May this year. The Leholo Road project, supported by China, will be launched this year. The 17th China medical team will be dispatched to Botswana this year.
The Minister of International Affairs and Cooperation, Dr. Lemogang Kwape, further accentuated the strength and extent of growth of the diplomatic relations between the two countries, adding that the relations were strengthened by President Masisi's visit to China in 2018.
Enjoyed enduring friendship since the two countries established diplomatic relations in January of 1975. As we approach the important milestone of the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations, I'm happy to note that there has been steady growth in friendship and broad-based partnership encompassing many areas of development. The political relations and interaction have also intensified since the state visit to China by His Excellency the President Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi in 2018.
China's economic growth rate in 2023 reached around 5.2%, holding the lead among major economies and contributing 32% to the global economic growth, which as a result becomes an advantage to many countries, including Botswana. Terry Makgoeng, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Minister of Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture, Mr. Tumiso Rakgare, says government is concerned about high unemployment rate, especially among the youth. When addressing a Khotla meeting at Rekops, Mr. Rakgare explained that one of the ways to address the unemployment rate is to attract investors into Botswana to help create employment opportunities. Sabatsen Tebogo reports.
The 2022 population census report shows that over 60% of Botswana's population is the youth. Minister Rakgare says this calls for government to formulate programs and strategies that can help address issues affecting young people, including unemployment.
Re dira maiteko re le puso mme ra bona gore go bonya gore mebereko yone e nne teng bana ba rona ba kgone gore ba bereke. Rona re le lephata re ikamanya le maikaelo a puso kana vision ya ga tautona ya gore a re o batla go dira gotlhe mo ka kgonahala gore a kgone go baakanyetsa bagwebi ga mmogo le babeeletsi mo gae le ba ba tswang ko ntle gore ba kgone go tla go gweba mo lehatsheng la Botswana ba phuthulogile kana ba susulugile ka gore re sologela gore ha ba dira jalo kana ke gone ka re tleng go bona madi ka teng ka gore re tle go bona madi re tle go bona banana ba bereka ba hirwa.
The minister was apprised of issues concerning his ministry.
Sports complex. Gongwe ka gore re nna re ntse re ipotsa gore le ta hela leng la tsena mo tirisong ka o tsile tona gongwe re tlile go utlwa update.
Tata go tsenella mohiba mo dikgaisanong tsa lona re itlhela o seo ga re itse ro ta o tsenya le mme sa re ikwetse
banana ba ba neelwang palo e ntsi ya banana ba ba neelwang di-business ke banana ba ba ntseng ko malwapeng ba ise ba isimolela le sepe tona o lebelele gongwe o dire 25%, o kgaoganye ka di-percent gore 25% o tla mo neela yo o simololang kgwebo, 75 o bo mo neela yo o tsweletseng mo kgwebong ya gagwe.
The minister responds to some of the issues raised.
Ke dumalana le wena mme gore go tla re tsone bo no re mohiba re lebelle gore go ka tweng ka one re ntse madi re le lephata ka gore project e ke ya rona e re reng stadium sengwe le sengwe re ntsha a minimum of 6 million pula go setseng betso ke gore jaanong re be ra go aga mo go teng ke gone di kiosk ha ile gore ya gore ha gona le metshameko e be gore eksediwa teng
ra tlhalosa gore yela go mo ga se di company tsa kgaolo ke sone se o bona go ile ga nna le nyahalo e ntse thata ko stadium selo se re tshwanetse gore re se kgaleme.
Minister Rakgare informed residents that government is still in consultation with stakeholders in order to resume the sports program in schools after it was discontinued for improvement. Sabatsen Tebogo, BTV News, Rekops.
Residents of Sorowe have been urged to register to vote for the upcoming general elections in large numbers. The plea was made by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Mr. Khotla Utlwitsi, who further expressed concern over the low turnout of citizens who have registered to vote countrywide. He said this during a Khotla meeting in the Timamudimo ward in Sorowe on Wednesday. Monica Setswaila.
Recently, the Independent Electoral Commission made an announcement that they are still far from reaching the target of 1.3 million people eligible to register. As such, an appeal was made to citizens to come forth and partake in this exercise. In Sorowe, an area which has been demarcated into 3 constituencies, has only managed to register over 22,000 people against the over 40,000 expected voters.
2019 batho ba ne ba tshwanela ke go a go thopa ba ne mo segole ba le 40,430 tsholo ke gore dipalo tse di oketsegile ka gore bana ba le dingwaga tsa bone di le 15 ka nako eo gompieno di 20 bana ba le dingwaga tsa bone di le 60 gompieno di 21 bana ba jaanong ba kae.
The residents voiced out some issues which they believe are a stumbling block to this exercise in their area.
ba eta ba di khaoganya jaaka bone ba bata gona go listile batho go tile ba 1000 ke banana ka gore na kitsa gore batho ba ke ba golo a se banana yana wa go tsa batho go ditirong go ba go te ba tsame be go bereka tirong.
Responding to the residents, IEC advised them about some of the decisions which were made prior to this exercise.
Go monna rona gona le go go halele hale gore ne ba tsama ba ra ile sega mme ba ra ke rona batho le ba ra direng jana be go ra gore anu rolo ya rona ga enne phepe mme anu go tsenya ba direla puso mo nakong ya gampieno ne ile go leka go hema gore go ska gana le sepe se seng so re ne ra tla fana ha ra tara bua ka kgaoganyo ya melelwane e santse ile hapile ha le ra be re tla kwano re tla go buisa phithego gone ha re leng teng gone ba go la gore ka go tlhoka lesego bangwe ba ne ba sewa ha batsadi
a bao ba ileng gore mogopolo wa bone ga wa ka wa tega ka nako eo ba mogele.
The minister is expected to host a series of Khotla meetings in the area to remind the residents about the importance of the voter registration exercise. Monica Setswaila, BTV News, Sorowe.
Southern African Customs Union members Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, Lesotho and Swaziland have all ratified their agreement with the African Continental Free Trade Area to make them have access to a large trade network. Minister of Trade and Industry Musi Khavela said the implementation of AfCFTA by SACU has been made one of its top priorities, thus cementing their commitment to participate in the Continental Free Trade regime.
In the global platform, in the global terrain, there are certain tariffs which apply. But then within a regional economic community, you find that they've eliminated those tariffs, but they've retained tariffs in respect of goods coming outside the region, so that you diminish the competition which comes from outside the economic region. We have a layer at SADC. We also have a layer within SACU. For instance, when it comes to the issues of sugar, I know that they've been the subject of burning hot discussion within the region. Within the customs union, we've agreed that sugar coming from outside is not going to enjoy free entry without being taxed, in order to protect the sugar producing countries within the customs union, being Eswatini and South Africa. So we do have those preferential trade relations within regions and within customs union.
Isn't it contradictory though?
Not I wouldn't describe it as contradictory, because, as I've said, the agreement establishing the AFC, the African Continental Free Trade Area, permits of states coming into these kinds of relationships. But my memory is a little bit shaky on exactly what I think they need to offer other member states. But that little detail, it escapes my, it's not at the tip of my finger. I'll have to refer to documents to refresh on it.
You're watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, residents of Mokgobane village in the Ramosa constituency have appealed to government to address water shortage in their village. They stated that despite efforts by Water Utilities Corporation to address the situation, the challenges still persist. They expressed this in a Khotla meeting that was addressed by their Member of Parliament, Mr. Lefoko Moagi. Lonese Kobo was there.
Residents appreciated the visit by their Member of Parliament and updated him on their achievements. They also voiced their grievances, among them shortage of water in their village. Most of the villages in the southern region are said to be currently experiencing water shortage. Mr. Moari has reassured residents that relevant stakeholders are working round the clock to improve the situation.
Ibile sa para khaolo ya maletera ile nosi isimologa khakala ya bere BOTSWANA ka bontsi ya no dilotse ke tsontse di be di go etla gore a mme go mabolokelong go okediwe go be go simola bona gore go agwe bona mabolokelo go mamashi ha ise a wele go solofedi ya gore a tla go a wetse pele ga kgwedi ya April moranang jaaka re mo lebile
are somareleng se re na le sone ba gaetso nako di changile re tshwantse go ka be mo re na le gone re go babaletse.
He urged the community to leverage the various government programs to better their lives and encourage them to register to vote. Lonese Kobo, BTV News, Mokgobane.
Palape Community Development Officer Ms. Kiabetsu Marubula says their area has benefited immensely since the implementation of constituency community projects. She said from the 2017-2018 financial year until now, they have managed to complete 62 projects out of the 73 planned, while the remaining are still ongoing. Ms. Marubula was speaking during a Khotla meeting addressed by the Member of Parliament for Palape, Mr. Onetse Ramagapi, on Wednesday. Monica Susela with more.
The Constituency Community Project, or CCP, is a government initiative which was established to advance developments in different constituencies countrywide. Development projects undertaken in Palape since the 2017-2018 financial year are said to have created jobs for around 600 people.
50 million Palape constituency, where the Palape. Memo Madinga, the project is 73. Then over the Madia, the head is 62. The set 11.
Even though they expressed gratitude over developments earmarked for their village, residents sought update on the construction of roads and a hospital they were long promised.
Extension 5.
Yone yanu imu tendering kra imu planning re tsa gore madi a ta bonala ka nna re me masara me ha ka parliamenting ka di 5 ba re nya me bile re bonye madi
extension teniote ki infrastructure ba go dirwa ditsela ba go tsemwa dipone ba go tsemwa metsi a go phale swe
project e mo ele gore e teng ke ya sepatela le ya 25 kilometers ya ditsela e leng gore re tlabe re dira go di-extension.
Residents were asked to register to vote. Mr. Ramagapi also expressed confidence in the public-private partnership initiative for improved developments in various villages. Monica Satswaila, BTV News, Palape.
Deputy Khosi of Bangaketi, Khosi Kebapeti Telekelo, said that the internal road project will start soon and expected to bring developments that will affect some residents. He said this during a consultative meeting in Kanye. Horata Marayani and Pofelo Musumi with more.
Kanye District Council has awarded Royal Pioneer Construction Company to undertake the 25-kilometer internal roads project within Kanye village. Khosi Kebatse Telekom said that due to this development, there will be various changes such as the displacements of residents.
Lo le kudisiwi ka tse di molemo tse di tla diragalang le tse di tla nnang busula go nne le dio tse di bokete tse di dirisiwang bo matšhine ba bokete ba ba ka amang gongwe huku ya lokotswana la gago kana huku ya terata ya gago kana lolapa lwa gago. Mme ke gone gore re tle go lekudisanya re tle go itsisiwi ka ditshwanelo tsa rona gore ha we le gore tsela e heta tla se ga gago itse gore tshwanelo ya go ke eng.
Project ke so se leng gore se sente wa go nna le ditiro batho ba go hirwa mme hela go nna le dingwe tse leng gore gongwe ga di go ama batho sente kgotsa ga di go tsamaya sente go na le gore bangwe ba go ntshiwa ga ba nnang teng.
Pitsaneng layout re na le ditsela tse di ka nnang bolele ja 3.10 kana 3.10 kilometers. Re be re nna le losabanyana layout re na le tsela tsa bolele jo bo kanang ka 6.70 kana 6.70 kilometers.
Some residents of Kanye said that they are happy with the upcoming developments as they will create jobs for the locals.
Jaanong so se se botlhokwa se ke se ratileng ke gore lo ke ka bogosi bo nne mo teng ke boitumelo ka gore di a direga mo lehatsheng le la gangwa ke tsele o itlhele bogosi bo sa itse sepe.
Ya ntlha tlase ke itse gore mo 25 kilometers yo tla tlang ke tla nna mo teng.
The Kanye District Council highlighted that they will strategically place speed humps on some roads as well as engage the police so as to facilitate them pending construction of the 25-kilometer internal roads. Khorata Maranyani, BTV News.
Molepolole Snooker Association, in partnership with Office of Member of Parliament for Molepolole South, Mr. Kabo Moraing, has recently organized a snooker tournament with the aim to encourage the players and supporters to register to vote in upcoming elections. According to the chairman of the association, Mr. Kabo Bafitile, the main objective was to help address issues of voter apathy. Like Itote with more.
Since the game of snooker is popular in bars and other recreational facilities, the chairman of Snooker Association in Molepole aspires to change that perspective and turn the game into a professional sport. However, it was for the second time this tournament has been running in this constituency.
Tournament ka hare akanyetsang ka teng re batla gore enne so se se tonatona mo tsamayeng ya nako e leng gore e tla hela itsetse league ya snooker mo Molepole even beyond go la go melang gore it's a process le samere ka gona gore le ke go bona gore re ka itsamaisa yang e be re ka tla ra ba hatsi ano re sena go tswa ka yone tsamaiso ya yone yotlhe but it's something se le gore se mo tseleng se tla dira gape
mehela ka Easter re letsa gore re go tshwara tournament engwe e ke le bolela nna go ile teng gore ra gonna le tournament ya snooker ka Easter e rulaganyeditswe ditlhopha tsa rona tse 18.
About 18 teams were competing in this tournament, which was aimed at boosting the registration drive.
Tota ya gompieno ga e tshwane le ya di-holiday tsa July e ke e leng gore e le ka go encourage batho go ikwadisa ditlhopho gore ba e leng gore ba tshameka kana di-supportera tse di tlang ke batho ba e leng gore ba ikwadise ditlhopho mme ebile ba sa ikwadisang le gone ga ka re tletse ga yana ra ba tsaya ra ba isa ko e leng go ikwadisa ditlhopho teng gore ba tle ba kgone go ikwadisa ka dipalo tse di rileng ke tsaya gore la itse hela gore Botswana otlhe generally gate ga re se re ikwadise re ko morago as compared to the years tse di ko morago
ya re ke a le kopa dikgantso le tsotlhe tse di re tshwenyang matshwenyego a re nang le one a metsi a ditsela a le tlhoko la ditiro dilo tse ga re ka ke ra bua ka tsone ga re sena ditlhopho re ha ka maikaelelo a go rotloetsa gore re go ikwadisetsa ditlhopho ka gore go tswalwa ka di-3 ke tshwanelo ya gago o le Motswana go ikwadisetsa ditlhopho party yo tla batlang go itlhopha o tla itlhopha.
However, in Molepolle South, the numbers of people who registered were better than the previous ones from the same period.
mme ga re lebella dipalo ga di ha re neng re eleditse gore di ka be di le teng but ga di masomaswe ke re ga ke tshwantshanya le tsa 2019 ga ke tsa kgaolo ya rona ya ntlha ya Molepolle South. So up to week 4 wa 2018-19 re ne re le ko go 5.413 this time around mo week 4 gompieno re mo go 9.534 gore sengwe se dipalo di tsholetsegile.
The district commissioner continued to urge the community to register for voting in large numbers. Lucky Toteng, BTV News, Molepolole.
Well, do stay with us. Liza Osakeng on standby to take us through the world of sport.
Thank you so much, Olibile Samoka. Good afternoon. My name is Liza Osakeng with your world of sport. And in our first story, local motorbike rider Ross Branch was honored with a motorcade parade around the city of Gaborone yesterday for his achievement at the 2024 Dakar Rally. The celebration was organized by Gaborone City Mayor, Mr. Austin Abraham. Tlamelo Muntsusi with the report.
Ross Branch, or Kalahari Ferrari as he is affectionately known in motorsport circles, was celebrated with a motorcade for his Dakar Rally exploits, where he raised Botswana flag high, becoming the first Motswana to ever get a podium finish at the event. The motorcade started at GSS grounds, passing through Glen Valley, Pagalane, Old Naledi, and ended at Main Mall, where he was met by a multitude who came to cheer and appreciate him for his achievement.
Ross, many of us have been glued to our screens in the past month, watching you fight against all odds, throwing all your strength against inhospitable terrain to emerge victorious. Not only are you the first Dakar stage winner from Botswana after taking the stage 2 victory at the Dakar Rally 2020, but you also made history not only for Botswana but for the entire continent by becoming the first Motswana and African to podium at the Dakar.
Yeah, this year was extremely tough, the Dakar, and it's such a big rally, but it does get super lonely at times, and without everybody's support, none of this would have been possible. So to each and every one of you that are here, thank you guys so much for all the support, and the messages of support from the whole country were incredible, and I'll cherish that for the rest of my life, and thank you all so much for being here today.
Ross Branch of Hero Motorsport took first position in Stage 1 and Stage 11, finishing second in overall standings, 10 minutes and 53 seconds behind Ricky Brabeck of Monster Energy Honda. The Dakar Rally is one of the most challenging races, especially weather conditions. Ross Branch managed to complete 5,790 kilometers in 51 hours and 41 minutes. Tlamelo Munsusi, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Still with the Hero Motorsport star, Botswana National Sport Commission CEO Mr. Tuelo Sirufo says his podium finish at the just-ended Dakar Rally is a milestone for the BNSC and could also be used as motivation for athletes to work hard and win top awards on the international stage. Sirufo said this yesterday at an appreciation dinner held in Gaborone. Ryan Khengonyane and Hobonaone Sehedi.
Sirufo said Ross Branch's success is yet another milestone for the national sports governing body, which can also be used as a motivator to other athletes to continue working hard so as to reach the promised land.
It's a lot of inspiration to up-and-coming riders, but not only those in motorsport, but in other sports as well. So if we are going to have more of these performances, I'm sure there'll be a lot more Botswana that are inspired to participate in sport, and not only participate, but know that they have it within them if they put their minds and time to it to be able to conquer the world.
The chairperson of the Committee on Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture, who is also the MP area for Gaborone Central, Tumisang Hili, said apart from making the country proud, Branch has demonstrated the country's pillars of boto and compassion when he stopped during the race to assist fellow rider at the Dakar Rally.
And I must say, I think it's a Botswana thing, because we've seen the same thing at the 2020 Olympic Games. Nigel Amos had a similar situation, and he did exactly what you did. So I think it's the culture of Botswana. It's the culture of Botswana that boto comes before all else. You may want to win, all of us, win, but what is important is how you'll be remembered in that win. There's no point in being the winner and everybody saying, but look at that guy, I can't believe he did that. You're better off not winning, but everybody remembering that special moment, that the humanity in you. So I must thank you. You represented us very, very, very well. That's the Botswana spirit. That's what we expect from a Botswana.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank the nation of Botswana for rallying behind Ross throughout his journey. It's because of you, and with your continued support, he surely can achieve even greater feats. In closing, I wish on behalf of the government of Botswana, the leadership of sport, and indeed on my behalf, to express our greatest delight, honor, privilege in congratulating you, Ross, for this memorable and historic achievement. Your country is very proud of you, Ross, and we wish you the very best of luck.
For his part, silver medalist Ross Branch expressed his sincere gratitude to all those who contributed to his success.
Good times and bad times. Nobody's ever doubted me, and nobody's ever pulled back and said, listen, I think we're going to call it quits. So to everybody, to all my sponsors, I can't thank you enough. To my family and friends that have believed in me, that have supported me, you guys mean the world, and you will always mean the world to me no matter what happens. Dreams do come true, and our current initiative is mindset change, and I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that I was not very good at academics at school. School was not my favorite, but sports was my passion. It doesn't matter what I did. I was always a sportsman and really enjoyed the outdoors. And I think the most proud moment is to stand up here and not be an academic guy that was top of the class, but be a sportsman that just gave it my best every time. My best was not always winning. I've had some really bad races, as a lot of you have seen, and I've had a lot of moments where I've had a lot of dust in my eyes at Dakar and a few tears.
The appreciation dinner comes at the back of a motorcade, which was held during the day, where Branch got to tour the capital city, Gaborone, for a meet and greet with the fans. Ryan Khengonyane, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now switching codes, Mokane Councillor Thebestlale Khosi yesterday donated a Charlet bull to the senior women's national team, the MES, to raise funds for their WAFCON 2024 preparations. The donation comes as Botswana Football Association is on a fundraising campaign dubbed the MES 2.0, aimed at helping the team to prepare for the upcoming tournament billed for Morocco. Lydia Poloko was there.
This bull donation by Mokane Councillor Thebestlale Khosi follows the BFA's plea for assistance to gather resources to help them prepare the team for the 2024 Women Africa Cup of Nations later in the year. The BFA recently launched a fundraising drive where it was revealed that around 10 million bula is needed to fully prepare the team for its second appearance at the Continental Tournament. A renowned cattle farmer and current boxing national team coach encouraged the BFA to use the bull in an auction or raffle to raise funds.
To get your money worth. You should make at least 200,000 out of this book. These women are going to make us very proud.
Ka ma go tota o dikile go re supetsa gore tsela ya ka ya ntsa ba dingwe tse di leng gore o ita di a bile mma go gone tse dingwe ke ditilo tse re di nang ke ba leboge ka thuto e ba reng ba re ruta mme bile ba bone go tshwanna gore mo tsatsi leno bo ba bela ba BFA mphoye e leng gore ya o thusa setšhaba kana bana ba bo ba imetse setšhaba.
BFA CEO Mfolo said even though the government assists in preparing national teams for various competitions, they still need a lot more financial support to fully prepare the team to perform well at top international tournaments around the globe.
Le marafa mokane ke pula madibogo gore motswana mo le mong a tsene mo go yone ka gore go ipakanya batsadi ke kgwetlo go ipakanya dikgaiseni tsana ke kgwetlo o tshwanetse re tse bana ba tsenya mo campaign o duela maroko o duela dijo o duela di flight mme gape o duela le bone botegeniki.
The mess under the guidance of Bazimane Botmalete are currently on camp in preparation for their first international training camp as they will be heading out to Turkey on the 15th of this month. Lydia Apologo, BTV Sport, Mokani.
And finally, Botswana Boxing Association National Level 1 coaching course, which started on Monday in Gaborone, will assist participants in areas they need to improve on, as well as to develop boxing from grassroots. This was revealed by the course instructor, Kumiso Yokopoleng, at the end of the course yesterday. Victoria Daken and Buitatelo Moaloleng.
The course, which had both theory and practicals, was attended by 18 coaches across the country. Yokopoleng further said it is compulsory that grassroots coaches attend this course, and the expectation is for the graduates to apply what they have learned when they get back to their respective clubs.
So it's basic ruta bana kana mang hello batla boxing gore o ka simola jang the steps of boxing le bona ba rutloetse di coach gore ba itse gore ha bana le bana ba ka simola go ruta jang. So just some steps ele gore you have to follow so that you can become a good coach or have a what you call a complete boxer.
Some of those in attendance noted that the course came at the right time, as it is an extension of what they have been doing so far, expressing optimism that it will make their job as coaches easier.
At the end of the day, as a country, we want to produce quality boxers who are going to win us medals at the Olympics, at the World Championships, at the Africa Championships. And those quality boxers, they are produced by what? By quality coaches. I get it. So we want you to advance. I know the coaches didn't go so we need to keep on consistently feeding into those systems. I get it. Coaches that are highly qualified.
Sport Development Technical Manager at Botswana National Sport Commission, Frederick Gebadiredzi, urged graduates to go back to the drawing board and see where they run short so as to improve. Moreover, he encouraged them to move up the ladder by attending more coaching courses to upgrade their higher levels of coaching.
For now, I'm refreshed. More coaching, developing kids. tse le gore ngwe ne ke di tibadisitse kana ngwe ke di lebetse mo especially re bua ka dingwaga tsa bana gore ngwana ga le ngwaga from 6 years to 9 years o ka mo dirisa eng from 9 years to 12 years hela yalo yaanong kana ga ntse re gola re le mo boxing ka ba re tsaya bana re ba kopanya hela go re dirisa se sengwe hela, and that's one thing se le gore se tsene mo go nna se go tshwanetse ke bona gore ke ba kgaoganya.
Coming here since you're on Monday, for me it has been very important in the sense that from here I implement what I've been taught, basically being the technical aspects boxing, or how can you develop a fully trained boxer for the benefit of Al-Hatsi and, like I noted, an international boxer.
In other issues, the Boxing Inter-Club Games continue this weekend as UB Boxing Club hosts the weekend's games at University of Botswana. Victoria Daken, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is it for sport this hour. I'll be back with more at 5 o'clock.
The L'Oreal Foundation is awarding and celebrating women in science